Good morning, evening, or afternoon, everybody. It's Kaghoe coming at you with another video. So today we have some very interesting and kind of funny hot fixes that they've sort of added for Scarlet Enclave, as well as just general Phase 8 things. I think they're really good, and it's just like some of these, I just laughed reading them, because I'm like, wow, that was a thing, that's hilarious. But anyway, without further ado, let's switch it over here and dive right into the blue post. So, we have elemental invasions now respawn every 1 to 2 hours. This was every 24 to 48 hours. So, this is important. So, elemental invasions, I think, come out with AQ phase, or maybe before that would be beyond ZG. I'm not entirely sure. I can't remember anymore. But they come out at a certain time, and they're really good for farming essences, and it's a big deal for like mages who want to get their robe of the archmage. However, what has emerged is that the air elemental invasion in Silithus, over by where Thunderin is, that one, the mobs are the highest drop rate for elemental airs, so everyone's going crazy for the elemental airs because they're used in the Greater Holy Protection Potion. So I think this is to allow people to farm elemental air at a reasonable rate and, lower the price of consumes, because that is what we are seeing to be so heavy. Then we have the Grand Arcanist and Grand Sorcerer enchants now additionally grant healing power equal to the same amount of spell power. Then the Grand Arcanist and Grand Sorcerer enchants now have a 0.1 second cooldown on them to prevent players from getting multiple procs of the mana restoration effect on a singular spell cast. And the Grand Arcanist and Grand Sorcerer enchants can now proc from non-periodic healing spells that heal during combat. So that is really good. So essentially healers now have the new enchants as well, instead of just having to get healing power. Now, something really interesting that I want to show you is I'm going to switch it back over here to the game on those enchants and cover them real quick so we can see right here we have the Grand Arcanist. Now, what's really interesting is that it does not say it does the healing power stuff. So it says the mana, but it increases spell power by 140. So I'd imagine this will be updated at some point, not to be that tooltip guy and point it out, but I'm sure it'll say spell power and healing power. But I just wanted to be clear, as of May 3rd at recording this, it does not say it. I'll take Blizzard's word for it that it does actually give it. I'm not gonna go out there and test that yet. I'll have to wait a moment before I can. But it'll be interesting to see if it does give the healing power as well. I'm not exactly sure how to entirely test that as either, but because if it doesn't say it in the tooltip, it might not say it in the buff, and there aren't really target dummies in here to go hit. So anyway, just wanted to show you guys those tooltips because, they claim it's ready, but it doesn't say it's ready in-game, so just important to keep in mind. The next one is Mirage's summon from the Mirage Rod of Illusionator will no longer attempt to melee under certain conditions. So this is the new caster staff, which is just this in Scarlet Enclave for most classes because of all the AoE and cleave fights that exist. Like, pretty much any time you're hitting more than one mob, this staff is insane. And what it does is it summons Mirages that just press Arcane Explosion. We gave it to an Elisham, and he is our top DPS on farming all of the trash and all of that. So, really cool to see that staff be fixed. I just think it's funny that, like, if a mob was too close, or I would honestly love to know what the certain conditions were to cause them to just sit there and melee, because it's been absolutely crazy for our Elisham who has it, and he is just cranking all the trash by a ton. So really cool weapon, really fun weapon, but really funny in the sense that they're meleeing. I never saw that, but I'd love to see it. And then this next one is also quite ridiculous. Immolation traps will no longer melee during Alexi the Beast Lord encounter. So I guess the little fire traps on the ground were also melee attacking people. That is, like, normally you avoid them so you don't cause the giant fire tornado to appear, but just really funny that if they were meleeing people also. Once again, something I never personally noticed from our rating, but all the same, quite hilarious that it was even happening. Then we have Warlock. The Naxxramas damage 4-piece will now correctly apply and activate the corruption applied by the Scarlet Enclave tank 2-piece. So that is very interesting. So I wonder if Warlocks are like splitting it off to go 4-piece and then tank 2-piece and maybe like I don't know. I don't know what interaction that is, but that'd be really. I hate when they do this personally because it makes looting everyone an absolute nightmare. But it from a guild leader loot council perspective, but it is if it's BIS, it's BIS. Then the Scarlet Enclave tank 4-piece now correctly applies its heal from corruption ticks off the instant tick from Nextremus damage 4-piece. So I mean you can go 4-4, which might be a play for Warlocks, I suppose, if the stats are good enough, but it would be really weird to see that. And I don't know if you can actually put on 2 tier class rings. Let's see if you can do that, because that would be very no, it is unique, so you can only have 1 next tier 3 ring. But that'd be really cool if you could have 2 from different things, but I'm sure people would have already tried to do that. But anyway, really good changes. I personally, this is obviously me because I'm a Feral Druid tank. I would love to see the 2 and 4 sweat for Feral Druid tanks be swapped, because the entire Scarlet Enclave set really scales around popping Berserk and getting crits and doing damage to build up your shield to mitigate damage. And so with the Feral Druid 4 set, it gives you that 1 minute Berserk and 1 minute Survival Instincts, which I don't think any Druid in their right mind is ever going to get rid of, and we can't put it on our shoulders. So it'd be really cool to actually be able to use the Scarlet Enclave 6 set with that 2 set, if that'd be really awesome, because having an unmissable taunt is whatever. You have enough hit with sod and everything that they give you, so it's not the end of the world. Or they could give them a little bit of changes that they have done with prot paladins and prot warriors to allow them to be able to taunt just because. But all in all, really good changes. I hope the Warlocks are happy. Been getting a lot of flack from the Warlocks after they nerfed their Shadow Bolt volleys and things. And then, we got a guy named Laser Chicken. When I first read this, I thought his name was Lazy Chicken. And then asking for, where is the bonus loot? You're not going to get any bonus loot, guys. The loot is it. This is supposed to be hard. This is supposed to be a long challenge. This is supposed to be the end game, the final thing. You are supposed to rise to the occasion, and you're gonna be people have it like they're thinking, oh, it's not Nax, because Nax was like all the phases we've done thus far are like 10 to 12 week cycles. This is forever. This is the end. This is where we're done. So you're supposed to just keep doing it for a much longer time than the others. So that's why the loot is lesser, I'd imagine. That is my guess. I don't know any of that for sure. And then, of course, we have some dude. This is just hilarious. Just some retail Andy over here on the SOD forums. Cool. Where's the follow-up for the bad follow-up over Dinars, Scraps Popcorn? Like, why come over to, like... I don't think people really understand that the SOD team and the retail team are completely different. Like, they don't they're coworkers, I guess, but I don't think they really interact or like do things for each other and like make content. Like, they're completely separate teams from my understanding. So it's just pretty funny, in my opinion, to see people come over here and do that. But anyway, guys, I truly hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, any comments, definitely drop them down below, and I would love to hear your thoughts on all these silly, interesting Phase 8 changes. But anyway, have a great day. Bye-bye. Hey, you. Yes, you. Are you still there? Well, I appreciate you for taking the time to watch this entire video and making it to the end here. If you enjoyed this video, definitely check out the other videos about World of Warcraft listed in these playlists down below. And thank you again. Have a great day. Bye-bye.